Good morning, Scott Lane here. I hope you had a profitable week in the markets last week. There was some crazy moves going on, but hopefully you steer clear of all those and made some money. Hope you had a nice weekend as well. Are you ready for another week in the markets? So let's get into some charts. I've been through them last night, and let's have a look at what I'm seeing. So how do we do this? Screen share is that one. Okay. Stop my video, and I'm not sure why you're looking at that. That's the one I look at. Okay. Here we go. So I've got a few. There's not really that much on offer today that I can see at the moment with these swing strategies that we use, that I use. So we start with Aussie CAD. We've had some big turning movements already in the last week or so. So now we're kind of nearing the end of those moves, or we're waiting for some kind of pullback and change of direction, even if only a temporary one, a reversal of some kind. So the first one I've got here is Aussie CAD. So this is the higher time frame, monthly in the top left, weekly top right, and bottom half is the daily. Bit of a choppy chart. We've had a kind of, we can see here from this point here, rejecting this long-term trend line, a wave 1, wave 2 pullback, a wave 3 down here, wave 4 pullback to the daily 50, the red line here, and then a wave 5, and a big move on Friday. But there's still a bit more room for wave 5 to complete. Wave 5 will usually go down to these lows, of the lows of wave 3, or a little bit lower, 0.618 extension of the wave 3. So there's room to go a little bit lower. So what do we have on our lower time frames? So here we've got the 4-hour chart top left, the 5-minute top right, the bottom is the 1 hour. All we really worry about for looking at this stuff is the 1 hour. For entry and things, you might look at other charts, 4-hour for confirmation, and the 5-minute for your entry. But let's look at the 1 hour. So we're looking for a short trade here. We can see the break here from where I hit this is the daily 50, the screen line. So break down from here, break through the 1 hour 50, the red line, and the 4 hour 50 is the blue line. And so both of those, and that's going to pull back. It'd be nice if it pulled back to give us a nice CBO, complete breakout, a breakout of the 1 hour 50 and the 4 hour 50, and a pullback to the 382 of this big move. So if we look at fib from these highs to the current lows, which has gone just a little bit lower than they opened this morning, we see it actually lines up with the pivot very nicely, the daily pivot, which is this P line here. Entry around here somewhere. And by then, the 1 hour 50 would have caught up a bit. Stop around here somewhere, and the take profit either for the lows, I'll get you 1.6%, or you could even take it a little bit lower to maybe these lows here, which is 2%. So there's something offer there if it pulls back and gives us a nice entry. Let's tidy these up a little bit. So I've got my alerts here from the pullback. The 1 hour 50 will have caught up hopefully, and the 4 hour 50 will be in our stop line before our stop loss, the stop zone before our stop loss. Give us some protection. So that'll be nice. And also you can just see in there's the daily 20, this thin red line. Hopefully you can see that just above the 4 hour 50. So that'll be in our stop zone as well. So that'll protect us as well from taking our stop, hopefully, if it does. Pull back even further. But hopefully that gives us a nice little CBO there and a nice little trade. That's probably one of the favourite ones, actually. There's also a quick one-to-one if you want to do a pip snatcher. Daily pivot, R1 up here, S1 down here. So you could do a quick one-to-one before these lows. So that's a nice looking one. Now we're going to look at Aussie dollar, Aussie US. So again, we had this big move on Friday, breaking down to new lows, recent lows. Are we oversold? It's looking a bit oversold. Ooh, just touching the green line, so a bit of caution there. Maybe that's your rule. As it crosses the green line, gone too far, don't take it any further short. But maybe you're a bit more aggressive, and that's okay. So there's a possibility of a short there. I think Aussie CAD does look nice in Aussie USD, but who knows what we'll present. This will just be a quick one-to-one pip snatcher, stop behind R1, profit at the recent lows, quick one-to-one. And if you look at the Elliott wave, you can see Elliott wave here from maybe from here, but it pulled back to the 4-hour 50. We got wave 1, pull back, wave 2, this is wave 3, pull back, wave 4, and then a wave 5. And that would tie in nicely with the daily, saying that it's overextended and it's time to decelerate and have some kind of pullback. So that's a possibility there. So CAD yen. So the yen has found some strength. Been doing well for the last week or so. It's still got a long way to go potentially. There was some news on Thursday or Friday last week. I must have been probably this one here, this move here on Thursday last week, where they said some intervention they're gonna do, as they always tinker with this stuff to mess things up. But that's given the yen some additional strength. So maybe we're going to find some decent strength in the yen for a little while here. We look at the daily. This is on the CAD yen as an example. It's quite typical for a lot of the yen pairs. We've got MACD from here to here to here, MACD divergence. Those highs are getting lower on the MACD. So some MACD divergence implying lower prices. And even looking at the weekly, we've got what have we got on the weekly? So the last high is a definite lower on the MACD. So there's a MACD divergence there on the weekly. And as you can see, the weekly was very overextended for quite a while on the RSI. And the monthly, very overextended as well for the last few months. So that's implying it's time for a little breather and the yen to get some strength. So what are we looking for today? So we've had this big breakdown from these highs. It's broken through the daily 50. It kind of paused on Friday. Then maybe we'll see some more downside. Maybe we'll see a little pullback to the daily 50 first. Let's look at the lower time frames and get some idea what's going on. So we've had this trend line down here. That's kind of gone now. Forget about that one. It's not going to be any use, I don't think. Big breakdown on Thursday, and then it's been going sideways since then. Maybe there'll be a pullback to the 382 pullback from this big news event here. Big drive down on Thursday. It's been pulling back to about the 382, which 382 on my fib is the red line. Maybe we're going to pull back to there and get a short from that. Stop loss up here somewhere. It's actually behind the daily 20, the daily 50 is right here, so that'll be protecting our stop as well. That'll be nice. The 4-hour 50 is vanished. So I'll just delete my 4-hour 50. Just undoing some stuff. Oh, I did. That is my 4-hour 50. That wasn't so smart. Okay. Right. So the 4-hour 50 is also just about in there before I stop. There's a possibility there. I don't like it too much because of this price action. It's been going. Yeah, it's not nice price action. Just going sideways. I'm not sure what it wants to do. It should be going up or should be going down. There's actually some news, some yen news today, so that might have some bearing on what happens. Watch out for the news; it can have some very crazy effects on the markets. Okay, so that's CAD yen, possible short there. And the last one I think might set up today, I like, is Kiwi CAD. Back to the daily. We've had a strong day down again on Friday. The Kiwis has been pretty weak the last few weeks, even weaker than the CAD, which is saying something there. So what we're looking at is oversold yet. Getting there, not quite into the really oversold territory on the RSI. Do we have any MACDs show any kind of change of direction? Well, from this point here we do. And then it had this pullback, and since then it's nothing really there. So a bit of caution, but we had a very bearish day on Friday, so there's a good chance we're getting something else bearish today. And that'll just be a quick one-to-one. If we get a pullback, from here, wave, a bit messy, isn't it? Hard to say. So we could have this pullback here, get a quick one-to-one down to these lows. That could be something that plays out today. Two more of a quick look at something that will be nice when it plays out. We've been waiting forever for Aussie Kiwi to break down. We've had a break of this trend line, which is kind of retesting. It hasn't broken through the 1 hour 50 convincingly yet. So it did break through on the open this morning, but we need to find a nice breakdown, nice pull down here, pull back. Where's my drawing charts? Got my zoom thing in the way. Drawing. So from here, if it did reject this trend line, break through the 1 hour 50, pull back to the 1 hour 50, and there could be a trade down to the 4 hour 50. So that will be nice when it happens, but we need to wait for that break of the 1 hour 50. Euro Kiwi, another Kiwi. We've got another topping going on here, deceleration and going sideways the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 4 days and today. Quite a strong level here, so we're looking for it to reverse. We need to see some proof. Oops, not that one, this one. And we've got this strong trend line here, which I like. It's broken through twice, but not really gone anywhere. So pull straight back the other side of the trend line. So we need to find a trend line there. Doesn't seem to be relevant. Is it doing that now? We've got something on that instead. So break of this trend line here to the downside, and again I will show if it does break down, pull back to 1 hour 50, the red line, and that gives a trade down to the 4 hour 50, or lower if you're more aggressive if you're trading. So it could be a nice little trade when that does break and retest the 1 hour 50. That's all I have. I've got a few more, another 4 pairs here in my main section, but they're probably not going to happen today. Again, waiting for a proof of a reversal of some kind to give us a trade. And a few more down here, which I'm not. Actually, I will show you one of them just for educational purposes. Aussie yen, which one? Aussie yen or euro yen? Okay, euro yen. So we've got a nice breakdown here. Oh, okay. The reason I didn't want to take this one short is because I did a fib extension on the daily from this high to the low, back to that's wave 1, pull back wave 2. So the fib extension from this point here to where we are now is 1.618. For wave 3, that's kind of typically as large as you want to, as large as you'll get. Usually between 1.272 and 1.618. So that is going against going further short. The other thing I wanted to show you, this is a quick one-to-one trade, the pip snatcher. The other thing I want to show you is first is the rate of the deceleration. Sorry, the accelerated rate of the fall. It's falling at this rate, and then it just plummeted down here, and it's still falling at a fair rate. So that's another indication that maybe something is near the end of its run. And if you look at the MACD, you've got the MACD on here as well. This is on the hourly, so put the MACD here. And look at these lows here, are lower than this low here. So we're going there to here, it's definitely lower. I can even show you that, make it really clear. It's lower, but look on the MACD. It is much, much higher. So that is implying that a trend change is going to happen. Could this play out? Possibly. But there's a good chance it'll just pull back and maybe have a run back to the 4-hour 50 or something. So that's a big no-no for me for taking these quick one-to-one trades. There a disagreement there. Okay, so that is what I have for you. Now, where's my Zoom thing gone? There it is. And that's gone, and now I've gone. There we are. Okay, so there's a few things that may line up. Aussie CAD seems to be the best looking one if it does pull back. I hope you found that useful and educational. I will see you tomorrow at about the same time. I hope you have a great day in the charts. I'll see you soon. See you.